Question number 4, Brendan Horan.
Kia ora, Mr Speaker. To the Minister of Transport, is he aware of reports that the owners of the Rena may prepare an application for resource consent to leave the remaining part of the wreck of the Rena on the Astrolabe Reef? And, if an application is lodged, will the Crown oppose such an application?
Honourable Jerry Brownlee. Mr Speaker, yes. And if an application is made, the Crown will look at all the application. It will look at the application before judging its merits. And I made all of those positions clear in a press statement on the 2nd of October 2012.
Supplementary question, Brendan Horan.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. On what occasions did the Minister or his officials consult with local iwi and or the Department of Conservation regarding a confidential agreement between the Crown Maritime New Zealand and the owners of the Rena to consider supporting the owners' pending application to leave the rusting wreck of the Rena on the Astrolabe Reef?
Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, I'm unaware of the circumstances that the member is referring to. What I do know is that the Crown maintains that the owners are legally required to remove the wreck. They, of course, just as anybody is entitled to seek compensation from them for damage they might have incurred, the owners are free to seek an application or resource consent, I should say, to leave the wreck there.
Point of order, Mr Speaker.
Point of order.
I seek leave to table paragraphs 13.4 and 13.5 from the Crown response re WAI 2391 and 2393, disclosing the sorted agreement to leave the wreck of the Rena on the Astrolabe Reef.
Leave a sort to table that. Is there any objection? Appears to be none. Can be tabled. Can be tabled. Order.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question, Brendan Horan.
Sir, to the Minister, how long has it been national government policy that if one pays $10.4 million for a public interest fund, the cost of 10 houses in Parnell or St Heliers, one can pollute New Zealand seas and foreshore for years, thereby saving polluters potentially hundreds of millions of dollars?
Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, that is not government policy. In fact, the New Zealand government, like many other governments, is a signatory to international limitation arrangements around shipping. We're heavily reliant on shipping as an exporting nation, and the member should really read all of the reports so that he can ask questions that show he does actually know a little bit about what he's talking of.
Supplementary question, Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Of the Minister, is he saying in principle that no entity, be it a company or an individual, should be allowed to abuse and misuse assets that don't belong to them and escape the consequences of such actions?
Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, what I'm saying is I think the owners of the Rena, given their obligations under New Zealand law, have acted most responsibly.
Supplementary question, Te Aroha Flavel.
Reo Māori, Mr Speaker. Ki te minita, ai rānei ko rongo I ngā kōrero o te tangata nei, Bari me Kaere. Kei te pai. Ai rānei ko rongo ia I te kōrero o Bari me Kaere, ko te tū o te iwi I tērā takiwā, te tikanga ia me nuku te karauna I ngā waihotanga mai, o tērā o ngā waipuke, o ngā kaipuke, mena ai, he hanga kōrero I Wānganui I te kāwanatanga me te iwi, mō te take e kore ia e pirangi ki te tuku, ki te whakawātea I tērā wāhi, I tērā o ngā parapara ka tukuna mai ai, ka ngahoro mai I tērā o ngā kāinga.
Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, can I say at the outset, I think that notwithstanding the view Mr Makari has expressed, the relationship between the company and the iwi is one that where there has been mutually a degree of trying to keep communications constructive. However, the Crown maintains that the owner does remain legally required to remove the wreck, And as a consequence of the motion that was, or the notice that was issued under the Maritime Transport Act, and no arrangements that we've made with the owner or anyone else have compromised the ability of the iwi or anyone else to seek compensation for damage that they can legally prove to have occurred to them as a result of the wreck. There is, of course, no restriction also on the owners of the wreck seeking a resource consent through proper channels to leave the wreck in place.
Supplementary question, Te Ora Flavel.
Kua he moni ko tukuna ki ngā iwi nei, kua pātai rānei ngā iwi mo etahi moni hei āwhina i a rātou, hei whai haere e wā rātou mahi nui nei ki te whakapaipai ake i te takutai moana. Pēnei ngā iwi e noho mai rā ki rungo mō titi. Mena ai, he hata te kāwanatanga hei whakautu ki taua pātai, mo te moni hei utu i ngā nama.
Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, the owner has established a limitation fund through the High Court of some $11 million. This is available to meet claims for all private entities affected by the Rena wreck, provided they're able to prove that the damage they suffered or the cost they incurred related to the wreck.
Question number 5, Dr. Jiang Yang.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is